is the way you view yourself. I wrote two different answers here, so I'm going to say it two different. Self-esteem is the opinion and value you have of yourself. It's an inner sense of worth and confidence in your own abilities. Then I move further. Then this is another definition. Self-esteem is the way you view and feel about yourself. It involves the beliefs you have regarding your worth, abilities, and how much you respect yourself. So the two different answers, they are the same thing. But the point is that the main point here is that is pointing to your worth, your abilities, how you view yourself. That is self esteem. Now, I know that self esteem, especially for young teens nowadays, sometimes, or the period where I do talk to teens, they always tell me I have low self esteem, which means that there's fear. Has come in. And when fear has come in for teens, is something that is hard to break from. And even when you start asking them, what are you afraid of? The fear is in their voice. Their voice is cracking. They When they start to speak, you can see that they are really afraid. That means they don't even know how they view themselves. And it's also very bad when someone else views you and you don't view yourself. So that's what we're going to discuss today. How you view yourself, your abilities, what you're capable of doing. Now, I'm going to start with understanding what self-esteem means. Now, let's look at a phrase from an American sociologist. He is best known for developing the
Hello,
Rosenberg.
hello, Judy. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes,
Please,
I can.
yeah, I'm helping you to change the slide. So when you need the slide
Okay.
change, just let me know.
Okay. Okay, please, you can change the slide. Yes, please, you can change the slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, understanding self-esteem. Now, we're going to look at what Nathaniel Brandon said and insights from what he said, his own understanding of self-esteem. Now, we have here that self-esteem, in his own word, he said that self-esteem is often considered as one of the pioneers. That means he defined it as self-esteem is confidence in our ability to think, cope with the basic challenges of life, and our right to be successful and happy. Now, what he's trying to say here is that number one, are you confident? That is the very first question. Are you confident? Are you afraid? Do you have the ability to do things on your own? The next question here is, how do you cope with basic challenges of life? Now, if life throws, let me give an example of, I know we're staying in school, so let me give an example of a math equation. Let's say, for example, a math equation was written on the board. Now, this can be a challenge for some people, especially for those who hate mathematics. Now, a question is written on the board and you do not understand the question. Now, the next thing is, what are you going to do about the equation written on the board? Are you going to leave your paper blank? Or are you going to copy from someone? Or are you going to take time to understand what was written on the board before you gave the answer? So now this is a challenge. The math equation here is an example of a challenge for students who hate mathematics. That is what he's trying to say. That how do you cope with basic challenges of life and also our rights to be successful? We all have rights. Everyone has rights. right to education, right to life, and so many other things. Now, right to success, right to be successful and happy. You all deserve to be successful, and you all deserve to be happy. Now, there's nobody here that will tell me that he or she doesn't want to be happy or he or she doesn't want to be successful. We all want to be successful and we all want to be happy. Please, next slide. Now we move on to understanding self-esteem. Another insight from Maurice Rosenberg. Now, Maurice Rosenberg was an American sociologist. He was an American sociologist and he developed a self-esteem measurement tool and is used for measuring self-esteem. Now, let's look at what in his own view what self-esteem means. Now, self-esteem is a positive or negative attitude towards the self. That is, how do you see yourself? How do you portray yourself? Or how do you view yourself? Do you let people view you, or do you allow, or do you view yourself, or you allow others to view you? Now, allowing others to view you means that, yeah, let me not use the word degrading, but it's similar to that, degrading. You're more like bringing down when you allow people view you. You should view yourself before you let others view you. Now, positive and negative attitude. Now we move on to behavior. How do you behave? What do people say about you outside? How do you behave outside? How do you behave at home? How do you behave in school? And so much and so on. Now let's look at another point he said. He focused on self-esteem as an attitude or a violation of oneself. That is reflecting the overall self-worth. Now, self-worth means the value. How do you value yourself? How do you value yourself? How do you look at yourself? Now, let me give an example now. In the morning, let me ask a question. In the morning, when you wake up, do you look at yourself in the mirror? That is a open house question. In the morning when you wake up, do you take a look at yourself in the mirror? You can tell me, what do you see in the mirror? Yes, hello? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am, I'm with you.
Yes. Okay, my question is, when you wake up in the morning and you look at the mirror, what do you see?
I see myself.
Okay, that's good. Now, you see yourself. Now, you know, the mirror is a reflection of you. You see yourself, that's very good. And the mirror is a reflection of yourself. That is, for example, I'm going to use myself as an example. I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I look at myself in the mirror and I ask questions about myself, like Judy, how are you today? How do you feel today? How was the night? That is, I'm asking myself, I'm looking at the mirror and I'm asking myself questions. That's why they say the mirror of life. That is, the mirror is a reflection of yourself. And and when you look at the mirror, you can ask it questions. You are seeing yourself in the mirror, you're not seeing anybody else. So don't be afraid when you look at yourself in the mirror and uh, you look at yourself and you feel like, okay, is this me? How do I feel? You don't think bad things about when you look at the mirror. When you look at the mirror, you can even say a word of affirmation for yourself. You can say hello, or you can say your name, Judy or Esther or Elizabeth. Today is going to be a great day for me. I am going to enjoy my day and nothing is going to spoil my day. This is an example. You are telling yourself, you are looking at yourself in the mirror and you are saying all these things to yourself because the mirror of life is a good phrase. Mirror of life is showing you yourself and yourself alone. Please, next slide. Okay, okay, please. It's time for Mrs. Poker. Is yeah, it's time for you to please come in.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Children, good evening. Okay,
Good evening.
and good evening. Auntie Judy, Mrs. Judy has taken us through what self-esteem is. And I see her telling us how we can build self-esteem. So we are going to look at the opposite. You know, when you look at uh way back in school, we learn words and opposites. So we've learned what self-esteem is. Let's look at what self-esteem is not. So I'm going to put like this. You know, um, in this world, if there's anybody who is perfect, that person's name is God. That's Jehovah. Nobody is created perfect. So self-esteem is not being perfect. Do you understand? Don't try to be perfect. Everyone has flaws. Everyone can make mistakes. So self-esteem is not being perfect. Does not mean that you get it right at all times. It does not mean that you would never make errors or err. So that's not what self-esteem is, because everyone is capable of making mistake. So the goal of having a good self-esteem is not to become perfect, but to grow, to
Hello, can
learn.
anyone
So
see my slide? Sorry. Can you see my
yes,
slide?
I can see your slide, but
Yes,
it's not changing. It needs to change to what self-esteem is not, ma'am.
I think this one has not been spoken of. I guess there's so I
No,
guess you should
no,
start
no,
from there before
she
this one.
has. Okay, no
No,
problem.
she
I
has
can take
not.
that. Bawahala. Okay, so let's look at understanding self-esteem. That's me and my self-esteem. Like Mrs. Judy told you, he said you get up in the mirror, you look at yourself, and like she said, you tell yourself, Judy, how are you? You know, you could get up in the mirror every day and speak to yourself. Tell yourself those things you like to see in yourself. You can tell yourself those things you want people to see in you. You look at yourself and say, oh, my name is Micheline. Micheline, you're beautiful. Do you understand? That when you make this kind of pep talks helps to build your self-esteem. So that self-esteem is like we're all girls here, right? It's like your queen, your scepter, that staff of office that you hold, that makes you reign as king or as queen wherever you are, whether it's in school, whether it's at home, whether amongst your peers, on the playing ground, or wherever you find yourself. That scepter that gives you recognition, that makes people look at you and see you, really see you, is what you call self-esteem. Because without self-esteem, you would never be able to accomplish or to realize the full potentials that God has created in you. You will never rise to be the best of yourself if you always think that you're not good enough. Do you understand? So you self-esteem is like a crown on your head that distinguishes you and stands you out wherever you are. And that standing out has to come from inside. It's an internal thing. You need to learn to build it. And how do we build it? You build it by reinforcing your positive beliefs about yourself. That constant pep talk, like Miss Judy said she does to herself every morning. Hello, how are you? Good morning. Today is a good day. Today I am the best of myself in the class. Today I have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding because the Holy Spirit is helping me to be all of these and more. Do you understand? That pep talk we give yourself is what helps to build our self-esteem so that we can actually become who God says we will be and become and find peace and joy within ourselves. So now that takes us to what self-esteem is not. We just learned that self-esteem is that crown on our head that makes us stand out like kings and queens. So now what self-esteem is not? Like I said earlier, before I had to go backwards, self-esteem is not about being perfect. Self-esteem is not about never making mistakes. Self-esteem is not about you are the best, you know, you are the best amongst all. No, self-esteem, the goal is not that you become perfect. The goal is that you grow. You make mistakes, you realize you have made mistakes. Then you ask yourself, why did I make these mistakes? And correct yourself so that you don't repeat that mistakes and you gradually grow into become a better version of yourself. So self-esteem, if there's nothing you remember today, remember that it is about growth, not about becoming perfect. Self-esteem also is not thinking that you're better than others. No, it is not thinking that you are the best around here, so every other person is beneath you. No, it's not about pride. It's about knowing who you are, what you are, and what you represent or stand for. Do you understand? Not putting other people down, not thinking that, oh, because I'm an A student, so every other person in the class, they are not good enough, they can't talk to me. Elios, you just stay on your own. No. Self-esteem is not that. It's not thinking that you're better than another person. It's knowing that this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I am about. Do you understand? It's knowing your self-worth, having self-respect for yourself. That's what self-esteem is about. So self-esteem is not about thinking that you're better than the next child in your class or
Excuse
in your
me, ma, please, I
environment you're
can't hear
in.
you.
You can't hear me. Okay. What was the last thing I said that you didn't hear? Say. Okay, I said self-esteem is not about thinking that you're better than the next person. It is not about putting people down, thinking that no, they are too small, they are beneath me. No, that's not what self-esteem is. Self-esteem is about you knowing. I see Funke's emoji going up, back, and forth. So it's about, let me use Funke as an example. It's like knowing this is who Funke is. This is what Funke stands for. This is what Funke should be known about. Do you understand? That's what self-esteem is about. Self-esteem also is not based on how you look. Do you understand? It does not matter whether you are the most beautiful girl or most handsome in your class or you're the tall, slim figure eight. No. Self-esteem is not about how you look because the value of your self-worth, the value of your self-worth is not tied to your appearance. Let me take me as example. I'm not a tall person. Please, if you're not speaking, can you just mute your phone? Thank you. Thank you. So self-esteem is not tied to your appearance. I was taking myself as example. I'm not very tall. So I'm always telling everybody the reason why God created Michelin can only be accomplished by somebody my height. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter where, way back from primary school, secondary school, university. I'm sure even university, we are going to have an assembly. I'll always be the one in front because I'll be shorter than the rest people. But that does not stop me from looking at me. Let people look at me as short. You should see yourself and see the value that you carry inside. You should respect yourself enough to value yourself. Do you understand? So it is not based on what you look like. No, it is based on the value you have of yourself, how much you respect yourself to be able to hold your head high up, even in the midst of challenges, even in the midst of people telling you are too short, you are too fat. No, that does not define your self-esteem. So self-esteem also is not about having a lot of followers or likes like we have right now in social media. You go on TikTok, people take pride in having 10,000, 1 million followers, or 10,000 views or likes per content that is created. No, that's not self-esteem. Self-esteem goes way beyond that. Self-esteem talks about your true worth as a child of God. So I would always say that it is imperative as children growing up, let us know who we are. Take out time to study God's word for yourself and reinforce those things that God has spoken about you to yourself. When you look at the mirror, see yourself as beautiful. You do not depend on likes or followership to get to where you go. If there's anybody you should follow, his name is Christ. Do you understand? So self-esteem is not about never feeling sad, always happy 247. No, it's not possible to go through life without hitting some speed bumps along the way. Sometimes we are students here, you get to classes, this subject that you don't really understand. Maybe a start but that mass is giving a bit of issues. That will come. It's part of life. It's part of growth. The ability for you to sit back and say, okay, why am I having these issues with this subject? And look inwards and work towards surmounting that problem is all about knowing your value and the fact that you have what it takes to get there. You have what it takes to understand that mass and be the best math student in that class, regardless of the records that you may have had previous terms or previous school sessions. Do you understand? So self-esteem is not about the fact that you never have issues, you never feel sad or insecure. No, because even very confident people, even people we look up to, like they are right up there, they are doing well. They also have days where they feel down. They have days where they feel sad. They have days where they feel like, oh, it doesn't seem like things is quite working out for me. But to the rest of us, we look at them and like, oh, they are so put together. Their life is all roses. No. So self-esteem, we've mentioned, it's not about being perfect. It's about growth. We say self-esteem is not about pride. It's about knowing who you are and what you stand for. So you don't put other people down. You understand? Self-esteem is not about your looks. It's about the value that you bring on the table. It's about the value and the impact you make around in your life and the life of people around you. Self-esteem is not about how much likes or followership you have, either in social media or in class. No. Self-esteem is not about never having sad moments. No. Self-esteem is a growth curve. It's a growth curve. It means the more you have issues and you're overcoming them, you're growing, you're getting better, your self-esteem rises because you build value when you do all of this. Next slide, please. We say self-esteem is not about, it's also not about getting good grades. You're an A student does not mean you have better self-esteem than the others. No, it's not. It's not about your schoolwork. Self-esteem, no, self-esteem is more about the confidence you have inside as to what you are. Do you understand? I would not want to mention names, but I know someone who didn't do very well in their exams and had to resit one of the papers. Do you understand? This person felt bad and couldn't, had a bit of time struggling to move. That is expected. But you see, the value that comes on the table is the ability to look at those areas and say, oh, why did I have to repeat this exam? What did I not do wrong? Right. What did I do wrong? Go back and look at it and retrace your step and now come back, bounce back and do better. So self-esteem is not about the fact that you have the best grade. It's about in the midst and in the face of challenge, how much strength do you have inside to stand with your head high up and say, I can do this? When everybody tells you, you cannot do it, you can't do it, you are too short for that, or women can't make good engineers, you can't do, and you look at it and say, well, whatever a man can do, I can do better, then you go ahead and fought better and eventually get to be able to surmount it. That's what self-esteem means. So self-esteem is also not about being popular. It's not about being popular. Why? Because you don't need everybody's approval to be the best of yourself. One of the signs of self-esteem, I'm sure probably in the next lecture, maybe next week, you'll be looking at the signs of self-esteem, is that people with low self-esteem are people pleasers. You want to make everybody happy. You want to please. No, that's not self-esteem. You will just end up making yourself a mat for people to walk over. No, self-esteem is not about being popular. It's not about needing people to validate you. You validate yourself. That's what Miss Judy was talking about when he said, when you get up in the morning, you look at the mirror. Wake up every morning, look at the mirror and tell yourself, you are beautiful just as you are. You are the best version of you. You are today, you do this better, you do that better, because the Holy Spirit is helping you. Can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You look at stuff and tell yourself, like I always say, the purpose for which I was called is only for people my height. So if you like, be taller than me, be shorter than me, I'm not bothered. See, this height is the best height anywhere in the world. Tell yourself, give yourself that kind of pep talks, so that you would have prepped yourself when you go out there and they start talking. You just keep remembering what you told yourself, that you are the best, you are the head, you are not the tail. You have the Holy Spirit by your side helping you, reminding you, of all that you have learned, so you don't have you are not forgetful. You're able to remember and recollect properly what you've been taught. And so, because you remember it properly, you're the best. You do well in your exams. Do you understand? So self-esteem is also not pretending to be who you're not. Do you understand? Self-esteem is not pretending to be who you are not. Everybody in itself is unique. Auntie Judy is a very unique specimen of human being, different from Auntie Esther, different from myself. Every one of you was created unique, fearfully and wonderfully created by God for a specific purpose. So don't pretend to be who you're not. Don't pretend to be someone else. It is good to have persons you look up to. Do you understand? Like between myself and Miss Judy, I looked up to her because she's doing something that I don't know much about. So I said, oh, please start this. Let me learn from you. Do you understand? That is what it should be. You recognize your flaws. You look for somebody that is doing what you wanted to do and you're not doing well better. And you put yourself under that person to learn. What do you do when you do that? You build value in yourself. You grow your self-esteem. So the next time Miss Coca will just start the show. Why? Because I built self-esteem enough to stand out there and say, don't worry, I'm going to start this class next time. So you don't need any approval of anybody. Nobody. The only person that should validate you beyond God is you. Do you understand? So be your own cheerleader. Do you understand? Be your own cheerleader wherever you go, either in school, at home, wherever you have been, wherever, be yourself cheerleader. Then self-esteem is not something anybody will give you. Mommy won't be able to give that to you, neither would daddy. They will help you build it by speaking into your life, by encouraging and telling you when you've done something, oh, that was good, even though you didn't do it well. So next time, do it like this. You understand? Yes, they can help you. But self-esteem is something that has to come from you, knowing and accepting who you are, just the way you are, and trusting that you have what it takes. You may not be there yet, but you have what it takes to get there and be better. So that's what self-esteem is not. It's not something somebody will give you. It's an internalized value you build in yourself. It does not come from the outside. It has to come from the inside. You have to know that you are valuable. Please, can we have the next slide? That you're valuable in yourself. You understand? You need to know that you're valuable, that you can make mistakes, and it's allowed. Mistakes are allowed. You should fall in love and be in love with yourself. Accept yourself the way you are. Believe in your abilities. Even in those things you know you cannot do right now, trust yourself to know that you have what it takes to learn and so that you can get there. Do you understand? Speak kindly to yourself. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. When you make mistakes, don't overflog yourself. Oh, I can't, I failed it now, so I would not be able to do it. No, you fail it now, is now. You fail it now, you can do it again. I tell my children, way back in secondary school, maths wasn't a very, I love maths. It was one of the simplest subjects, but I didn't like it much because I didn't have this teacher that everything, pow, pow, pow. I went to public school, so it was always, and I didn't like the subject. But I knew I didn't want to get a result that was not, straight like that. So I told myself I will go back, and I went back in SS3 to, okay, Motupeko for you. I see your hands up. Well, I'll attend to you quick. Went back, and from SS3, I went to read SS1, SS2, and practice, and went for the WAEC. And what? I made it. I even had an A in that subject. Why? You don't put yourself down. Be kind enough to yourself to know that this is my flaw. I have this flaw. I can't do this very well. Ask who can help you. Get help and move on. Do you understand? So, Mojupako Frodi, you want to ask a question? Please unmute yourself. Let me hear you. Hello? Hello? Okay. So let me carry on. So we said it's also, you need to learn to be proud of who you are without having to compare yourself with others. Every one of us is unique in ourselves. Every one of us is created fearfully and wonderfully. There's only one of you. You are a designer's original. There's no two Michelin anywhere in this world. They may look like me, maybe even talk like me, might be even split images of each other. But in our thinking processes, in the way our mind works, and our capabilities will not be the same. So there's only one of you in around in this world. Okay. So I think Auntie Judy, want to take from here?
Okay, yes, thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Mrs. Cooker. Thank you, Mrs. Cooker. I appreciate. Okay, so like, hello everyone. Are we together?
Yes, ma.
Okay, hello. Okay, now we look at what self-esteem is. Now we've said that self-esteem is your abilities, your how you see yourself, how you view yourself. That is knowing you are valuable even when you make mistakes. Now, we all make mistakes. There's nothing wrong in making a mistake. You make a mistake, you correct yourself, and that's it. But when you keep, another point I want to make is there's some people who makes more than one mistakes. Now, it's not that they are dull. They are not dull. It's not like they don't know it, but something just triggers them to make the mistake. I can make let me use the same mass. An equation is given to me, for example. I made one mistake, I corrected myself. I made another and I corrected myself. Now, me making continuous mistake doesn't mean that I am dull or it doesn't mean I don't know it. I made a mistake and I corrected myself and and you're also learning from that mistake. Now we look at another one, which is liking and accepting yourself just the way you are. You need to like yourself and accept yourself. This is a very important point. You don't let others like you, and you don't just allow people to accept you the way you are. Accept the way you are for yourself. Be yourself. Someone can like you, and that same person can also hate you. Am I saying the truth or I'm lying? Hello?
You are saying the truth, ma.
Thank you very much. That someone can like you, and that same person can also hate you, but that hate will never be shown. But that person can hate you too and also like you as well. So you need to like and accept yourself just the way you are. Don't wait for people to accept you or people to look for something in you that they like. Like yourself and accept yourself just the way you are. Then we move on to believing in your abilities, even when things are hard. This is a very important point again. You have to believe yourself, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe in your goals. You all have goals, you all have dreams. I know some are dreaming to be newscasters or even top professionals in whatever you want to study. But before that can happen, you have to believe in yourself. Don't let people drag you down. Don't let people say things. Ah, does she even believe in herself? Does she even think she can do this and pass? Don't let people say these kinds of things to you, because these words, these kind of things people say, it weighs you down. And when people say this kind of thing, you start asking yourself questions. Am I really sure I can do what they are saying? Am I really sure I can even, or can you, are you sure you can even do what you said you want to do? So when people say these kinds of things to you, just close your ear to it. Just keep your ears closed and don't even think, and don't even hear what all these negativity people say to you. You have a dream, you have a goal. Pursue it. Pursue it. But before pursuing it, believe in your abilities, believe in yourself. No matter how hard things are, believe in your dream and knowing that one day I will surely achieve this goal or I will surely achieve this dream. Then speak kindly to yourself instead of putting yourself down. This an example I used was the mirror. You look at yourself in the mirror, you say kind things to yourself. You speak about the day. How do you want the day to be for yourself? That is, look at yourself in the mirror. Don't say, even if you have, yes, let me give an example of my friend. Then in my boarding house, I had a bunkmate. She was huge on the fat side. Now, she always looks at herself like, how I wish I can lose this weight. How I wish. It was always her say, how I wish. And I told her, don't start with how I wish. Say it the way you want it. I want to lose this weight. I don't want to be fat again. Because you saying how I wish, is that like a wishing star, like a wishing star passing by? Because number one, she's not even believing that this weight can be lost. So that's why, an example, anytime you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is go to the mirror, see yourself in the mirror, speak to the mirror about how you want your day to be. Even when you have your tests, your mid semesters, your exams, and so much and so much and so much. Speak about the exam. I want to pass this exam. I don't want to fail this subject. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want this. I want this. I want this. Speak about your day to the mirror. Like I like the mirror is a reflection of you. So you should speak to the mirror. How do you want things to go for you? The next one is being proud of who you are without needing to compare with others. Be proud of who you are. Comparison kills a lot of people. Why compare? Why do you want to compare with someone? Okay, someone is dull, someone is intelligent. Why would you not want to compare yourself to an intelligent person? What you should do is, and I'm not, I don't want to use the word dull. Okay, bright. Someone is not bright, but someone else is bright. Now, if you know you're not a bright student, don't compare yourself to someone who is bright. Study, learn, read. You don't understand someone. You don't understand a question. Ask what it means. Now let me use an example of a test is being given. You read, or let's say, let me use an example of an English comprehension. Yes, English. There's a comprehension there, and under it there are questions to answer. Now you've read this comprehension, you've read this passage, and you don't still understand it, and you now leave out the answer space blank. No, you just you read continuous reading, and you give yourself time to digest all what you've read, understand it before giving the answer. But not when the test the test is there, because you do not understand the passage, you don't now give an answer. You submit your paper like that with no short answer given, or sometimes you will just write I don't know, and that I don't know is a very very wrong thing to write. But what I'm saying is, be be proud of who you are without needing to compare. Don't compare with anybody. Be yourself. Believe in yourself. Comparison, like I said, it kills a lot of things. It kills. Let me use my nieces. I have two nieces. Now they are not twins, but they like to do things together. Now one is bright, one is not so bright. Now the one that is not so bright, she looks up to her sister who is bright. That is, the one who is bright, she teaches her, they read together, just for her to catch up with her sister. Now, she being a good sister, she's not going to say, okay, my sister is not bright, let me not mind my business. No, they are sisters, and she wants the best for her sister. So that's why they do things together, they read together, they even give themselves questions, they answer it together, they mark their scripts separately. One gives us, and the other one gives her sister, just to be sure that they're on the same page. That is how it's supposed to be. If you have siblings, don't compare yourself to your sibling. Your sibling is another person, and you yourself, you're another person. So be proud of who you are, and you don't need to compare. Comparison kills. It kills a lot of things. It kills dreams as well too. Then respecting your thoughts, feelings, and body. Yes. Now, I don't know if you've heard about a subject, or if you've heard about this word called body safety. Have you heard about it before? Body safety? Has anyone heard about body safety before?
Yes, ma.
No, ma.
Good. Now, body safety simply means, how do you take care of your body? How do you take care of yourself? Okay? Now, respecting
Okay,
your
ma.
thoughts, feelings. Okay, thank you. Respecting your thoughts, feelings, and body. Now, your thoughts, you are thinking of a lot of things. I know nowadays, things nowadays, they think, oh Lord, they think a lot. They think a lot. They have dreams, they have goals, they have one or two things running in their minds. So they think, some even think, and even get tired of thinking. That is, too many things are running through your mind. Now, feelings now is, how do you feel? What do you feel? Why are you feeling this way? These are questions you can ask about feelings. How do you feel? What do you feel? And why are you feeling this way? For example, now you passed an exam. This you feel happy, right? That is, I feel happy because I passed my exam. Why are you feeling this way? Because I passed my exam. And what do you feel? You feel happy because of what? You passed an exam. So these are questions you ask about feelings. What do you feel? Why are you feeling this way? What do you feel? The W's and the H. Don't forget your W's and your H. Then our body. We mentioned the word body safety. How do you take care of your body? How you don't let strangers to touch you anyhow. Keep your body safe. No, and maybe another day I will talk about body safety. But body safety means, how do you take care of yourself? How do you take care of your body? What do you do? What are the things you do to keep your body safe? Okay. Okay, all right. Sorry, can we what? Please, the next slide. Okay. Oh, let me just finish. Okay, yes. Okay, we move on to affirmation. Yes. We have what we call words of affirmation. What are the things you say to yourself? What are the things you want? Like we have what? I am valuable. I am
I
enough. I am
I am
energetic. Now, these
I
are all.
am
Yeah,
energetic. I am growing every day. I am created with purpose, be the potential and worthy of recognize.
yeah, very good. Now, we all need to what? Affirm ourselves. Affirm yourselves. Like for me, every morning when I wake up, I always tell myself, I am enough. I am a star. I matter always. I choose to shine. This is me affirming myself. I tell myself what do I want for myself. That is what this is. So words of affirmation, you tell yourself all this. We have a lot. I am attentive during activities. I am energetic about classes, and I submit my tasks on time. So these are words of affirmation. That is things you say about yourself.
Ma, can we say it?
Yes, yes, you can say it. You can feel free to say it. Yes, you can say it.
I am
Okay.
Yes,
valued.
so, we are going. We're
Yeah.
gonna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to appreciate Judy and Mrs. Coker for doing amazingly well. So, the affirmation is basically for towards the ending of the class, which is almost what we are doing now. So, all of us, we're gonna say it together as a way of closing before we go over to the assignments we have for everyone. Okay.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
So, Judy, I believe you are rounding up now. So kindly do that and let's take the affirmation together, and then we
Yes.
present the questions we have for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Are we ready to take our affirmation?
Yes.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Can we say it together? Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go. I
I
am
Valuable.
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 I
I
am
I am
am enough.
I am
I am energetic. I am
am
terrific.
I
I am
am
growing every
growing
day.
every day.
I
I am
am
I
created
created with
create with
focused
purpose.
with the potential
potential
Filled
to
and
child,
worthy of
and
respect.
worthy of
love,
love.
and respect.
I
Next,
choose
I
to
choose
be
to believe
myself.
in myself,
I choose to believe in myself,
I
to speak
speak
to
kindly
keep
to myself,
faith in my life,
and
and
who
to
to
honor who I am
who
becoming.
are becoming good.
not
I
content.
am
Content
active
I
during
am
activity.
attentive
is I am
during activities. I
passive.
am
I
I
am
am energetic
energetic
about
significant.
okay.
about
I am
classes.
not
I
my
I
submit
submit
my tasks on
my
time.
I'm
task
not
on
my
time.
I
mistake.
am not my mistake.
I
I am not
am
my fear.
what
I'm
I
not
am
my
not others say about me.
I
I am
am
who God says I am, chosen,
Yes,
loved,
ma.
and strong.
what
And shine, I may be potent,
chosen.
and I learn from challenges and
I
rise with courage. I celebrate others and myself. I matter. I have something unique to offer to this world. I'm not afraid of not fitting in negatively. I only have to stand boldly with effectually, in and out every day. I will confidence, love, and compassion, and live hope.
I am
I'm
courage.
courageous,
yes,
resilient, and fearless to be of
I
good.
see
Thank
Patience,
you.
love with compassion, and live with purpose. I am courageous, resilient, and fearlessly authentic.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's good. So we have questions. Questions now. What is self-esteem according to the book? Me and my Me and my self-esteem. Generally, what is self-esteem in your own? Then we have mention five things self-esteem is not. Then list five things self-esteem is. So can we have the first question, the answer to the first question? What is self-esteem according to the book? Me and my self-esteem.
me being courageous.
Thank you. Yes, being courageous. Anyone else? Okay,
Having
thank
confidence
you.
in myself.
Okay, your dreams are your goals. Okay, thank you. That's good. That's good. Okay.
I matter.
Okay, you matter. Yes, your affirmation. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. I hope we've all learned something. What self-esteem means. Remember, believe in yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Believe in your dreams and your goals. Okay? Do not compare. Okay?
Confident.
Good. Confidence. Wonderful. Be confident in yourself. That is good. Yes. Okay. Mrs. Esther, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to the kids. I appreciate. Okay, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful night rest.
Good night.
Good
Thank you,
night.
ma.
Good, good night. Good
Thank
night.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.